the ultimate guide to seasonal eating, the magic of eating with the seasons. Nature has a rhythm that we often ignore in our modern world of 24-hour grocery stores and global shipping routes. We have grown accustomed to finding strawberries in the middle of a snowy January and pumpkins in the heat of July. While this convenience feels like a win for our cravings, it often comes at a cost to our health, our wallets, and the planet itself. Seasonal eating is the simple practice of choosing fruits and vegetables that are naturally ripening in your local area at this very moment. It is a return to a more ancestral way of living that prioritizes freshness over convenience and quality over availability. When you start paying attention to the calendar, you begin to notice that food actually tastes different. A tomato grown in a local field under the August sun has a sweetness and complexity that a pale hothouse tomato shipped from thousands of miles away simply cannot match. This guide explores why eating seasonally is the ultimate hack for a better lifestyle and how you can master it without feeling overwhelmed. Why seasonality matters for your health. Your body has different needs as the weather shifts. In the heat of summer, we naturally crave hydrating foods like cucumbers, melons, and leafy greens. These items are packed with water and electrolytes to help us stay cool and energized. As the temperature drops in autumn and winter, our bodies look for more calorie-dense options like root vegetables and squashes. These provide the complex carbohydrates and vitamins needed to support our immune systems during flu season. Nutrient density is one of the biggest arguments for seasonal eating. As soon as a plant is harvested, it begins to lose its nutritional value. Many produce items found in supermarkets are picked before they are actually ripe so they can survive a long journey in a refrigerated truck. By the time that spinach or broccoli reaches your plate, it might have lost a significant percentage of its vitamin C and antioxidants. Local seasonal produce is often harvested at the peak of ripeness and sold within days, which means you get the full spectrum of nutrients that nature intended. The economic benefits of seasonal shopping. If you have ever noticed that blueberries are $5 a pint in February but $2 in July, you have seen the law of supply and demand in action. When a crop is in its peak season, there is an abundance of it. Farmers need to move their inventory quickly, and that translates to lower prices for you. By building your meal plan around what is currently plentiful, you can significantly slash your monthly grocery bill. You also save money by avoiding the hidden costs of long-distance transportation. Shipping produce across oceans or continents requires massive amounts of fuel and specialized packaging. When you buy a bag of apples from a local orchard in October, you are paying for the fruit itself rather than the logistics of getting it to your door. It is a more direct way to support your local economy while keeping more cash in your own pocket. Environmental impact and sustainability. Our modern food system is a major contributor to carbon emissions. The average piece of produce in a standard supermarket travels over 1,500 miles before it is consumed. This creates a massive carbon footprint from planes, ships, and trucks. Choosing seasonal, local food reduces these food miles dramatically. Beyond transportation, seasonal eating encourages biodiversity. Large-scale industrial farming often focuses on a few varieties of crops that are sturdy enough for shipping even if they lack flavor. Small local farmers who grow for the season are more likely to plant heirloom varieties and diverse crops that support a healthy ecosystem. This helps maintain soil health and protects local bee populations, which are vital for our long-term food security. Spring. The season of renewal. Spring is a time of awakening. After a long winter of heavy, starchy foods, our bodies are ready for something light and detoxifying. This is the season of bright greens and tender shoots. One of the first signs of spring is asparagus. These green stalks are rich in folate and fiber. They are best enjoyed simply roasted with a bit of olive oil or shaved raw into a salad. Peas are another spring highlight. Whether they are snap peas or English shelling peas, they offer a burst of sweetness that signifies the end of winter. This is also the time for radishes, which provide a peppery crunch to any dish. Leafy greens like spinach and arugula are at their most tender in the spring. If you are lucky enough to find ramps or wild leeks, grab them quickly because their season is incredibly short. They offer a unique mix of garlic and onion flavors that define the taste of early spring. Summer, the season of abundance. Summer is the peak of the growing year. The variety available during these months is staggering. This is when stone fruits like peaches, plums, and nectarines come into their own. They should be heavy and fragrant, indicating they are full of juice. Berries also dominate the summer months. Strawberries lead the way, followed by raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. These are nutritional powerhouses filled with antioxidants that protect your skin from sun damage. In the vegetable garden, summer belongs to tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants. These heat-loving plants thrive in the long sunny days. A sun-warmed tomato sliced with fresh basil and mozzarella is perhaps the simplest and best meal of the year. Zucchini and summer squash grow so fast in July that gardeners often find themselves leaving baskets of them on neighbors' porches. Corn on the cob is another summer staple that is best eaten as soon as possible after harvest because the sugars begin turning to starch the moment it is picked. Autumn, the season of harvest. As the air turns crisp, the food becomes heartier. Autumn is the time for storage crops and late-season treats. Apples are the stars of the show here. From tart Granny Smiths to sweet Fuji's, the variety of apples available in the fall is much better than what you see in the off-season. Pears also reach their peak, offering a buttery texture that pairs perfectly with autumn cheeses. This is also the season of the gourd. Pumpkins, butternut squash, and acorn squash start appearing everywhere. These are high in vitamin A and provide a comforting base for soups and stews. Root vegetables like carrots, beets, and parsnips get sweeter after the first frost because the plant converts starches into sugar to protect itself from freezing. Brussels sprouts and kale also improve in flavor as the temperature drops, making them perfect for late autumn roasting. Winter, the season of comfort. While winter might seem like a barren time for fresh food, it is actually a great period for citrus and hearty greens. Because citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and lemons grow in warmer climates, their peak season falls during the northern winter. They provide a much-needed boost of vitamin C during the darkest months of the year. Storage crops from the autumn harvest sustain us through the winter. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, and onions are staples that keep well in cool, dark places. Cabbage is another winter hero because it is incredibly versatile and lasts for weeks in the fridge. You can use it for crunchy slaws or slow cook it until it becomes sweet and tender. Many farmers now use high tunnels or greenhouses to grow hardy greens like spinach and collards, even in the snow, which adds a fresh element to heavy winter meals. How to start your seasonal journey. The easiest way to begin eating seasonally is to visit a local farmer's market. These markets are the best indicator of what is actually growing in your region. Talk to the farmers and ask what is at its peak this week. They can often give you tips on how to prepare a vegetable you have never tried before. If you do not have a farmer's market nearby, look for local labels in your grocery store. Most modern supermarkets now highlight produce grown in your state or region. Another great option is joining a CSA, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture. You pay a subscription fee at the start of the season, and in return, you receive a weekly box of whatever the farmer harvests. This is a fun way to challenge yourself in the kitchen because you might receive items you would never pick pick out for yourself, like kohlrabi or garlic scapes. It forces you to get creative and truly eat according to the local harvest. Preserving the seasons. Part of seasonal eating is learning how to save some of the abundance for later. When tomatoes are at their cheapest and tastiest in August, you can buy them in bulk to make sauce or freeze them whole. Berries can be spread on a baking sheet and frozen before being moved to a bag for winter smoothies. Pickling is another fantastic way to extend the life of summer cucumbers or autumn beets. Drying herbs is a simple way to keep the flavors of your summer garden alive all year. By spending a little time preserving food during the peak months, you can enjoy the quality of seasonal produce even when the fields are covered in snow. It connects you to the cycle of the year and makes you appreciate the food even more when its true season finally returns. Developing a seasonal mindset. Eating seasonally requires a bit of flexibility. You might go to the store with a specific recipe in mind, only to find that the main ingredient does not look great because it is out of season. A seasonal cook learns to pivot. If the recipe calls for asparagus, but it is October, you might use green beans instead. If you wanted a peach cobbler in February, you might reach for your preserved frozen peaches or switch to an apple crisp. This way of eating encourages a deeper connection to the earth and a greater appreciation for the passing of time. It makes the first cherry of the year or the first ear of corn feel like a celebration. When food is available all the time, nothing feels special. When you wait for it, the anticipation adds a layer of flavor that no spice can replicate. Seasonal eating is not about restriction, but about celebrating the best of what every moment has to offer.